All right, so here we are, closing day number one finally in this account, and I gotta say, I never saw this coming. I Over the weekend, I spent quite a long time thinking about how this day one might unfold, what I'm going to talk about, and stuff like that. And a lot of scenarios ran through my head. I was wondering, am I really going to be able to hold myself back from being the hyperactive trader that I normally am, or that I want to be, naturally? And a lot of questions like that, a lot of scenarios were running through my mind, especially about like what am I going to talk about in the recap, stuff like that. And despite all that consideration, I never saw this coming. Today, my first day, saw me take two accidental short trades and one accidental long trade in my simulator account, and it was quite the chaos. And I managed to capture a little bit of video. So what we're going to do in this recap is I'm going to watch that along with you for the first time since it happened. And together we're going to try to decipher exactly what went wrong, or at least get an idea, because as of yet, I don't understand why this happened. So for the time being, my account is not closed for the day. I'm just taking an extended break to figure out what happened. I am closed until I do have the answer, though. I do suspect that is going to take the whole day. So for the time being, this day is closed with a result of negative $29.82, which is a net ROE of minus 1.08%. So here's the video that I talked about, and we're going to watch it here. Before I do that, I'm just going to point out that I'm not really going to talk about what I was planning in this trade. I'll just say that my stop going into this was 26.50, and my initial target was going to be the previous day's high on Saturday, which was around $31.50. However, I was ready to get rid of this around $30. So I was expecting about a 2.5 to 1 risk reward ratio. And my intention was to take 50 shares long from my initial entry, which was just above 27.50, and then add approximately $1 later, going up to 30. So that was the plan initially. And you can see up in the top right corner that I did enter at 957.31 at $26.64. And in my positions window in the middle, you can see that position open. Now, what I failed to realize at this moment in the trade, and for the entire time I've been holding, which was a few minutes, I didn't even realize that this was in my training account. It was in a simulator account. You can tell by the account number, TRIC3287. That's my simulator account. And I didn't look at the account. Even though I have this piece of information in my positions window, I did not register it. I was focused elsewhere on the level 2 where there was a lot to, pay attention to. And so that's where we're at in this trade at this point, is I'm not yet aware that this is not a trade in my live account. I'm not yet aware of that. So I'm going to hit play, and you'll see that finally, after testing 26.50, we're coming back up to my entry, and we're just about to go with the surge that I think is coming. And you'll see a bid pop up that makes me pretty confident right there. 27.53 came up, and I was like, okay, it looks like we're going to get up to that 28 spot and retest the high of day. And shortly here, I reset my stop. Once bid support kept coming up, like you see there at 27.40, I believe it was. And once it broke right there, that's when I decided to bail. Because if you look up on the 1 minute chart here, you'll see that there is a red long body candle immediately following my entry. This was a rug pull / false breakout that took place, and I held through it, and it bounced exactly off my stop at 26.50. And I thought, okay, my stop was very well placed. Good job. And as it curled back up, I was about to getting ready to either add or bail out. And the thing that was going to determine whether I add or bail out is the price reaction to the levels that we were looking at about right now. And so what you just saw was a push up to around 27.60, I believe, and then bid support come up to support that move. And once we cut through that bid support, I thought, okay, no, I'm going to move my stop all the way up into the 27.40 area, and if that area is broken, I'm out. And so that's what just happened. I'll rewind it a little bit, is me trying to get out, and the way I'm trying to get out is by hitting Control Z, which is my GTFO key, so to speak. It's the sell everything on the bid. And so that's what I'm hitting. I hit Control Z right there, and as a result of that, I shorted 50 shares, and I saw this right away. I saw the two positions in my positions window, and my mind exploded. I thought, first of all, you can't have opposing positions like this. You have to cover one and then, flip the other way. So how the hell do I have two of these positions? And that's when I finally realized, okay, the account was wrong. And then I looked at the account and I saw, okay, I was long in my simulator account, and now I'm short somehow as a result of hitting my hotkey. So I'll hit resume here, and we'll see this keep going a little bit. At this point, I'm starting to panic. You can see, well, you might not be able to follow it, but my mouse is moving all over the place. I'm checking stuff. I'm trying to find the problem. Meanwhile, the volume is all of a sudden surging, which doesn't make the pressure any better. And, I'm trying to put in these orders manually now. I'm looking how to mark it out. I realized I do not know how to place a market order. And so I'm kind of like panicking a little bit, like, how do I just get out of this cleanly? I just want to cover right now. $28 is fine. I don't care. Let's just get out of this and reset. And so that's what I'm doing here. And finally, right there, I did it, covering at $27.96 for a small loss of whatever, $27. And what's also irritating during this too is that my trade that I was trying to make is actually working at this point. We've broken the level of resistance that I thought was going to be a problem, and I'm expecting a more or less clean move up to where I want the price to be. And I'm going to back it up right there because I just re-shorted it. So during this chaos, I was trying to figure out what exactly went wrong here. What did I do? And I thought there must have been something different. Like it couldn't have been my fault. And so I tried to exit the position again. And this is the mistake that I made. This second trade is definitely a mistake of mine. I already had the evidence that my hotkey was not controlling my simulator account, which it wasn't supposed to be anyway. So I knew that if I hit Control Z again, or I should have known if I hit Control Z again, that it would have just opened a second short, and that's exactly what happened. Is I hit Control Z again, and that ended up triggering yet another short entry that I ended up closing right away. This time I didn't take any chances. I didn't screw around. I just covered that as soon as possible. And I ended up getting like a not bad fill. I actually made $1.25 or something on that trade. But in any case, my goal, as soon as I realized that there was a problem, my goal was to just get the hell out. And that's what I guess I did kind of effectively. I'm still not super happy about it. And then here I am left with this simulator trade that I don't even really know how to get out because my hotkeys just this morning were all switched over to my live account. And as we get back to the video here, you'll see that I do eventually find a way. I use the level 2 to get out of this account in my simulator right there. It's gone. And this is an uncut video, right? As you can tell by the clock, I did not cut it. I'm just fast forwarding manually. And during this time, I'm out for a smoke, by the way. Whenever weird stuff happens like this, anything that I don't quite understand or anything that pisses me off, it's my standard operating procedure, and has been for more than a year and a half, to walk away from my desk. Just take like a 5-minute breather, get the blood flowing, get some fresh air, just change things up, reset emotionally, and then come back and deal with it. So that's what I'm doing here. And what you'll see as I advance is the first thing I do when I get back, once this cursor starts moving, is I check my hotkey setup at some point here eventually, hopefully. Come on. Okay, I knew I recorded it. Anyway, so this is my hotkey setup. And you can see in the script, every single account in the script is the right account. So my best guess right now is that the initial problem was caused by the wrong account being selected on my order entry window, which I frequently refer to as level 2. And later on, the one question I have remaining is how come a hotkey that's connected to my live account, my IB account, why did that hotkey react to the share size that I had in my simulator account? Because you'll notice, I mean, I don't have any hotkeys for 50 shares. You'll see buy 100, 250, 500, 1,000, and then that's it. Every other hotkey is based on positions and entries and whatever. And so what I'm noticing here, the evidence that I have, is that my short entry, both of them, the way that the computer knew to take 50 shares short is because that was the size of my simulator position. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's reacting to my simulator position size, which is not something I'm super happy about. And that's the one thing left that I have to get to the bottom of. So all this nonsense adds up to these two trades right here, highlighted right there, the only two. And those are my oopsie short trades on DDD today. Unfortunately, that's a bit of a tainted start to this account. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I didn't mention it in my account summary video, but I'll point out here that the 3 winning accounts that I have had lifetime all started with a red day one. The one account that I closed a loser, completely blown up, and then the other one that I still have open, which is being used here, those 2 accounts that are red, those accounts started on a green day. And while I am very much a man of science and I reject all superstition, I must be quick to admit that that has played on my mind in the last couple of days. I've been thinking like, wow, maybe I actually want a red day just to keep that pattern going. What if I have a green day? Does that mean I'm going to lose? And these are really stupid thoughts, and I found myself having those thoughts last week. And combined with other details, such as, I'm coming off a 3 or 4 week period of inactivity. I haven't really been super active in the simulator every day. My discipline in multiple areas has been pretty weak. And in addition to that, the first time that my account was available was Friday of last week. And even though a lot of good things happened on Friday, I didn't trade. And there were so many times where I was tempted. I thought, let's just take 50 share position on Riot and Mara and just let them run all day, and I'll probably make $300 each trade with 50 shares. Super low risk and great reward. And I didn't take those trades. And surely enough, they would have worked out exactly as I thought they would. And so I could have had like a $600 winning day. But I didn't, and I felt good that I didn't book that result because it would have been a disciplinary failure to let myself trade under those conditions. And so I went into the weekend looking to improve the discipline, looking to get back into shape, and that's exactly what I did, and I hit it out of the park. I had a tremendously productive weekend, and I got all the things done that I needed to do. And I came into today feeling so good. My discipline routine in the morning, on top of that, was amazing. I did all the things I had to do. I switched my hotkeys. I did multiple tests with my hotkeys. And then here I go and create this problem anyway. So as we switch back over to my daily results log for the last time there, we'll take a look. And I'll just say that I think my summary opinion of this day is that I'm disappointed because the amount of work that I put in to get ready for this account in particular was very heavy. And even just recently over the weekend, I mean, just the amount of effort that I went through to get myself into shape and to feel good discipline-wise was very strong, and I felt so good about it, and I still do. I still do feel like my discipline game is great. I mean, just the fact that I'm closing today based on these mistakes, I think is an example of discipline. And another positive spin that I could put on this is the bar is extremely low right now. I was borderline a little bit worried that I would come out of the gates with like a home run and then feel pressured to recreate that result. And I have to say there's a little bit of pressure off in making such a goofy mistake on day one. As people who know me closely, that my history is riddled with moments like this, and they mostly happen at the beginning of accounts. And so the part of me kind of feels like good that I'm in the zone of familiarity. I'm not like outside of my comfort zone. I've made these mistakes before and weird stuff has happened and I've bounced back almost always. So I'm looking to outdo this for sure. My goal for tomorrow is to outperform today. And I have to say I feel pretty good about my chances of doing that.